What's up, Gator Nation? Welcome into our latest rapid reaction following Florida's 23-17 loss in Knoxville on Saturday night, an overtime loss, just the second in this series between these two rivals. The last time being 1998, which was also a game in which the Gators lost in overtime with a missed kick. And Trey Smack is wide right on a 47-yarder. Has another one at the end of the first half that didn't count, one of several red zone blunders by the Gators, which wasted a really strong performance from their defense. But in the end, the Gators do not get it done. They cover, but that's about the only positive you can take away from this. Not only did they lose this game and have a chance to get an upset blown, but they also lost quarterback Graham Mertz and Montrell Johnson. So about as bad as it can get right now, Nate.
Yeah, I Florida left at least 17 points, not more, on the field. I had somebody text me. Obviously you can see Zach and I did not make the trip. We're here in Gainesville, but I had someone text me from the field that the 12 man on the field, Damian George, was trying to get off, and Billy sent him back on. That was a play because they had to burn a timeout earlier that drive, had to rush the field goal unit on. So there's confusion on the sideline. Reporting that. I'm just saying what somebody told me. We'll ask Billy on Monday about it. But I saw the mat on the field on TV. So the mat was on the travel roster. I think the takeaways from this is that it's not new, but like Billy doesn't have feel on Saturday, whether it's play calling, flow of the game, exhibits no feel for the game. You have a 4th and 1 down to the 18, I think, and you've got DJ Lagway in because it's his turn to play. And you try and end around to get 1 yard instead of lining your 240-pound quarterback up under center, or even going Tebow style and letting him run a quarterback power. Eugene Wilson stopped. That was also the third drive of the game, Eugene Wilson's first touch of the game. You then apparently check Twitter on the sideline and be like, oh, dang, everyone wanted me to run a quarterback draw or a quarterback sneak. Let's try it now on the 1 with Graham Mertz. He fumbles. There's just bonehead calls. Later in the game, I think Florida's defense is playing so well, and I wrote about this. It'll be up soon. They elect to go for it after Graham Mertz is hurt. DJ Lagway, you're down in Tennessee territory again. There might have been pass interference on that 4th and 3, the pass to Eugene Wilson, but you have a great punter. Your defense is playing great. Punt the ball, let Jeremy pin them back, and play the field position game. Your offense isn't doing it. Your offense isn't getting it done. Your play calling is not getting it done, but your defense is playing great. Instead, you give Tennessee the ball at their 38. They're able to flip the field with a punt, pin you down on your 6. You have to then punt. Tennessee scores 2 plays later. It was just a huge momentum shift. I get it. You're being aggressive, but in that situation, your defense is playing phenomenally. You have a chance with an elite punter who you said is possibly the best in the country. Use him.
Yeah, and look, Florida came out defensively. They clearly saw some things from Arkansas last week that they were able to apply not only to this game, but they had some success against Tennessee last year. And shout out to that side of the ball, man. They came up with 2 turnovers. They had some 3 and outs, and bailed out Florida twice in the second quarter when they failed to score in the red zone. So to only allow 17 points in regulation against this Tennessee offense and its high-powered attack, that should have been enough to win this game. And DJ Lagway's touchdown pass to Shamir DK late in the 4th should have been a game-winning touchdown pass. You should have scored enough in your previous opportunities that throw wins you the game. And it's unfortunate for him in that moment that he didn't get to have that. He rebounded from what was a really tough stretch there of possessions after Mertz went down. He has the interception in his own territory. He has the turnover on downs that you mentioned, Nick, back-to-back 3-and-outs, and then he took the sack on third down that knocked UF out of field goal territory. I mean, he just had nothing going right for him. And then on 3rd and 17, just like back against the wall, he steps up in the pocket and delivers that pass to DK. They act like they're going to line up to go for it, and maybe they should have went for it and went for 2 there. But unfortunate. Again, that should have been a game-winning touchdown pass. You should have had some other points scored that should have won it for you.
Yeah, a number of things. The red zone trips in the first half. I mean, it probably could have been a 24, like best case scenario, 24-0 halftime lead. At worst, a 17-0, maybe. I will say, like, fans accused a couple weeks ago, people of, or the team of quitting on Billy. That's certainly not the case. Like, Billy's the glue guy. He's a great locker room guy, a player's coach, I guess. Like, this team's playing their asses off. I go back. I had trust issues about the bye week stuff, but the defense was telling the damn truth. Whatever they did, whatever the defense did in the bye week, it's working. I'm going up here to find what somebody said. Austin Armstrong, to my knowledge, is not calling plays. Zach, I think, broke the story in Starkville. It was the first time that Austin moved from the booth down to the field. So he's been on the field for the last 3 games. But Austin Armstrong doesn't have a play sheet, doesn't have a play call thing. So unless he has memorized the game plan and all the play calls, he's not calling the plays on the sideline.
Yeah. Mississippi State was also the first time Ron went upstairs, so they
yes.
flip-flopped.
Yes, I've said, if you're calling the plays, you should be upstairs. You can see the field better, and it's a quieter, more organized place for you to get your thoughts and call plays in. And you can probably do it much quicker, which is what they talked about, their process and getting guys lined up. And getting aligned is literally the first thing you have to do.
By the way, shout out to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Just beat the Kentucky Wildcats before they come into the swamp.
Just 2 basement teams playing next week at 7:45.
I'm going to see if there are any updates as we're joining you guys here tonight. But I got to say, Nick, it was tough to see Graham Mertz leave the game like that. Just given what he's been through to have a season-ending injury last year in kind of the same scenario, right? On the road against a top 10 team with a chance to pull off the upset, and you get injured late right before the 4th quarter, and you're not able to go out there and get it done, and got a freshman quarterback in there that can't finish it, and just to see him with the on crutches, that looks like obviously it's a serious injury. He had just thrown that touchdown pass to get him over the hub. Unfortunate that he had that fumble at the goal line. I'm with you. Either call that for Lagway, or if anything, hand the ball off to Montrell Johnson, who had literally just trucked somebody with one of the plays of the game. But now it's, we'll figure out what the prognosis is. But it looks like this is going to be the DJ Lagway show for the foreseeable future, Nick.
Yeah, and this will be another preview of something. Nico Amalievia, I don't know how to say it. Nico looked like a redshirt freshman tonight. Looked like a freshman. DJ Lagway, even before this game, had already played more snaps than Nico did as a freshman last year. So Nico looking the way he is, that's on Josh Heupel. You're having a guy face live bullets for the first time now. And I said during the game, like, regardless of the outcome, DJ Lagway is going to be better for this. 101,000, more than 101,000 people there tonight. And DJ got to experience that and feel that lead drives late in the game. It did not go the way he wanted it to, but like DJ is going to be better for it next year. Now leading the way, DJ is going to get to experience Kentucky going to experience Jacksonville, going to experience Austin, and going to experience as the starter all of these games. Like this season for Florida, who knows how it'll end? Honestly, they should be 4-2 right now. I put a lot of that on Billy, me personally. I'm sure I'm not putting words in your mouth, Zach, but certainly the chat here is agreeing with that. But I think Florida will be better for it in 2025. And that's a huge difference. I give Billy Napier credit. Like you're taking Graham Mertz. I know fans think that DJ Lagway is better. He's certainly more talented. I think Graham Mertz probably gives you a better chance to win right now, just with some of his experiences and tangibles. You're going to go through bumps and bruises with DJ Lagway. He's going to throw a lot of interceptions because, as you can see, he trusts his arm and he plays with a lot of confidence. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be frustrating at times, but it's going to be fun watching DJ Lagway. But I honestly just feel sick for Graham. If it is a season-ending injury, we don't know yet. But if it is, that's just a brutal way for him to have his career end.
Yeah. Tough situation for Florida. Now they got to try to pick up the pieces from this game. Just a devastating loss. Getting some quotes coming out of the presser here for Billy Napier. Talking about a few things. He says the penalty at the end of the first half that negated the Trey Smack field goal was a substitution error where a player stayed on the field that should not have. As Nick pointed out, that was Damian George. As far as sending out the offense to go for two, Tennessee calling timeout, and then them lining up for the PAT. Billy says that they had a play that they felt good about, and then when they burned the timeout, they just felt like, let's go play overtime. But as he says, the tail of the tape is the missed opportunities in the first half. Nick, is there one that you really hang your hat on that is just was the most back-breaking blunder that they had in that first half, whether it be the jet sweep call with Eugene Wilson? I guess the Graham Mertz fumble wasn't a fourth down, but it was in the red zone. And then obviously the issue on the penalty with 12 men on the field. Was there one that is
that
worse than the other?
12 men stands out. I get the anger, but I'm not surprised at all by the jet sweep on 4th and 1. I'm not surprised at all about calling the sneak with Graham Mertz instead of bringing DJ Lagway in
or handing to Johnson.
Not surprised at all about that stuff. If someone can find a clip of it, then I'll give you $5, but I've never said I thought Billy Napier was a great Saturday game planner, game or play caller. I just think it showed up again today. It's none of that stuff. I get it being angry about it, but it's not surprising. Special teams have been really good.
You're right.
And special teams have been really good this year. And that's, if you just don't have 12 men on the field, that, like you said, that DJ Lagway pass to Chim is for the win, not to tie the game.
Yeah. And then you have him. Now he's out there missing a 47-yarder, which ended up being inconsequential because even if he makes that kick, Tennessee went right down the field anyway and scored a touchdown. Just really unfortunate for Florida to come into this game as 15.5-point underdogs, the biggest spread that Tennessee had in this rivalry series since at least 1997, probably a little bit farther than that, maybe since 1990 or something when they blew the Gators out in Knoxville. But it wasn't a blowout tonight. Florida had this game. They dominated the first half defensively, gave up some drives in the second half, but overall they did enough to win. Florida won, the total yardage. They had advantage in a couple other statistical categories, but in the end, they lose the only one that matters, and that's the final score. And now they try to move forward with a freshman quarterback, potentially also a young backfield as well, depending on what the injury is to Montreal Johnson. At least they've got it figured out on defense, seemingly. But now it's Kentucky time, Nick.
Yeah, with a new opportunity to set a record. Could be the first coach to ever lose your first 3 against Kentucky. It would be, I think, the first time ever a graduating class goes winless against Kentucky. Kentucky just lost to the the sweetheart of college football in Diego Pavia. Find a way to pick up the pieces. You'll get you'll get 7:45 kickoff against Kentucky. Certainly, you found a blueprint to lose that game last year. Maybe try a different blueprint. Yeah. A lot of people here. I'll be surprised if Billy Napier is fired after this game. Florida.
Yeah, he's not getting fired tonight or this weekend, guys. It's not happening.
Yeah,
I know you're mad. You have every right to be mad and to be making those type of demands. It's not happening this weekend. I
think Florida would have had to lose like 50-0. Yeah, he's not going to be fired. I'll say he's not, and if I'm wrong, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, no. To me, and I've long felt this way, that if there was going to be any type of change during the season, you got to do it before bye week. The first one wasn't going to make any sense because you still had that 4-game threshold that would have allowed some guys to just sit out the year. If you made a move that early in the season before UCF, obviously they chose not to go that route. They clearly were giving Billy this opportunity tonight to go out and get a signature win and get a top 10 victory.
Should have gotten one.
Should have got one, but now you come home against a Kentucky team that has had a really good win and some really bad losses. You are playing with a freshman quarterback, which probably is going to have Mark Stoops licking his chops. But this is another must-win game, just like UCF was. And if you lose this one, now we're having the conversation, because losing at home to Kentucky for the 4th straight year, 3rd time under your watch, and losing on the road in overtime to number 8 Tennessee is 2 different stories, especially when your starting quarterback left the game with an injury. That's not excusing it, but that's not the kind of result that's going to lose you your job. But it's going to have a lot of Florida fans mad for the next 48 hours, rightfully so. This was a game that Florida had and fumbled away due to some poor decision-making by their head coach and some plays that they did not execute on special teams and some other blunders that they had in the red zone. So we'll see where they go from here, Nick. Back in the swamp.
Back in the swamp, need a win. I think if you lose next week, that I'd make a change. I don't know that they will. The UAA is also not looking to appease angry fans and fire Billy. Like that, they're not going to make a decision to make the fans happy. So here we are.
Well, homecoming next week. So we'll see what the appetite looks like for that. We will be there to cover it faithfully for you guys. I feel for all the Florida fans out here that had to suffer through that game tonight. I know that was a tough one to watch, a tough one to stomach, and you guys have had a few of those. I don't know if it's better to lose like this, Nick, or the way that they lost to Miami and A&M. They both suck. This one's probably a little bit worse because you had it and lost it. So we will be back with you guys next week to preview homecoming game against Kentucky, and we'll see what these guys have to say coming off this loss. We'll have more coverage for you guys at GatorsOnline.com to highlight what went wrong on Saturday night at Neyland Stadium For Nick Del Torre, I'm Zach Albaverdi. We'll see you guys next week.